What is up, guys, and welcome back to the channel. So today we're going to be reviewing and breaking down The Flash Season 8, Episode 19. So guys, let's get right into it. So the episode starts with a future scene with Bart and Nora playing some future video game, and we also see future Iris coming on a projection call or something like that. But the thing is, future Iris disappears because of her time sickness, I would assume, in the past, and because of her problems with the still force. Young or present day Iris appears to Bart and Nora in the future, and also for some reason the still force is keeping her there. Next, we get a look at Meena in her new suit, who we see here training with everyone, including OG Thawne, and she went a bit too fast and completely screwed up, and she flew backward. But here's the thing, so did Barry when he first started training, so I'm not sure why they had Meena be so angry at what happened. I guess that they let that carry into the next scene, where Barry eventually reveals to Meena that he is the Flash, which we knew would happen because on some set photos we got before. So yeah, Barry is able to get Meena to keep training with that. So next we see Dion and Wells Thawne, and out of nowhere, Dion kills him by aging him. Now, obviously, this somehow grants Thawne the ability to return, and return stronger at that. So yeah, we'll have to find out what happens there later in this video. So Barry investigates what's just happened with Thawne dying, and quickly assumes that Dion was the reason for it. Also, he mentions Dion could be at any place in time, which obviously makes him more threatening. So next we go back to seeing Iris in the future, and we find out from Joan Garrick that the negative tachyons are the reason for her time sickness. Iris had negative tachyons in her system. We also find out that Iris's sickness is affecting the forces, so that's why Dion is going crazy. So next we see the forces appear to Meena and OG Thawne in Fast Track Labs, and they say they are after OG Thawne, which initially I thought that meant he could be turning back into the Reverse Flash. So what the forces do next is they're about to go after OG Thawne, but then Barry shows up, and with the help of Psych, Dion is able to, with a snap of a finger, stop Barry in his tracks. But then we had one of the coolest scenes I've seen so far this season, with Barry literally he was just able to ignore the effects of Dion and able to defeat all three forces, which was such a cool scene. So yeah, that was really great. So yeah, I said all three forces. Obviously, that means Bashir and Alexa, this Sage and Strength Force, have returned to the show. But yeah, anyways, next we see Caitlin and Mark trying to bring back Frost, and we see Caitlin here get into the chamber. Now, what I've always thought would happen would be that Killer Frost would come back instead of Frost. But anyways, next, Barry talks to Nora, who traveled back in time, obviously because of the Iris situation in the future, and we find out that the negative forces could end up wiping out all the speedsters on the planet, which would obviously leave nobody to stop the negative forces. Now, we also find out that the only way for Iris to be able to actually come back to the present is for Barry to defeat the negative forces in the present. So yeah, now Barry also reveals his identity to OG Thawne, and I guess technically OG Thawne already knows that Barry is the Flash, if he had his memories, that is. But still, for some reason it kind of surprised me that they ended up doing that. Now, Meena and OG Thawne's plan was always for both of them to have speed, so Barry says that he can help Meena share her speed so OG Thawne can become a speedster. Now, initially here I thought this could be where he turns back into the Reverse Flash. Maybe there was still negative tachyons in his system or something like that. So yeah, we next see Team Flash prepared to fight the negative forces, and still Barry helping OG Thawne and Meena turn OG Thawne into a speedster. Now, Barry also gives OG Thawne a Flash ring, or a Reverse Flash ring rather, which I didn't expect at all. I mean, I guess it just has his suit in it, but yeah, that was still pretty cool. But meanwhile, Allegra, Chester, and Cecile take on Bashir, Alexa, and Dion, and I have to say, it was actually pretty cool to see what Bashir was meant to be. A villain. That's what I think he should have been. He was such a great villain back in Season 7, Episode 5, I believe it was. I just really thought that maybe if he was the main villain of that Forces storyline, it would have been a little bit better. So now that the Forces have basically taken care of those three, as Bashir put it, Team Flash members, they then are there to take on the Flash, Meena, and OG Thawne, who is in his Reverse Flash suit. That was so cool to see again. Even if he wasn't a villain, it was so awesome to see him in that Reverse Flash suit. So Barry, Thawne, and Meena don't exactly have the best odds of defeating the forces, as obviously they're basically gods. As next we see Iris in the future using her ability to see through time to find out what the forces were really up to, and the real sacrifice that the forces needed was never OG Thawne like we thought earlier in the episode. It was Iris herself, who quickly disappears from the future, and just as Barry throws a lightning bolt at the forces, Dion makes Iris appear right in front of them, so she gets hit with the lightning bolt instead. So yeah, Iris is basically killed here, and that was not all a part of the Force's plan. So yeah, then the still force particles from Iris's body, they go into OG Thawne, and yeah, so OG Thawne was still a part of the negative force's plan, and that in turn resurrected Wells Thawne, who took over OG Thawne's body, which, was a bit of vice versa from season 1, as obviously OG Thawne was the one who took over a Wells. And this scene right here was absolutely insane. It was such a crazy reverse flash moment, one of the best reverse flash moments. Now, it was a really cool scene, as I just said, guys, don't get me wrong, but come on, I think we all wanted to see OG Thawne make an appearance as the villain sometime. I think that would have been so cool. Maybe they could have had 2 reverse flashes. That would have been a pretty cool finale. They still have 1 more episode, so maybe OG Thawne will return then somehow. I think that would be great. So yeah, Iris at the moment is dead. Now, quick spoiler warning before I say this, guys. We know for a fact that Iris comes back. She comes back based on some set photos we got a few months back. What else I'd like to see, though, would be in the finale, OG Thawne somehow come back as well whenever they somehow restore Iris's life. I think if they restored OG Thawne's life as well, that would be great. But this time, he'd get his memories back. Maybe we don't realize that until Season 9, but as long as they somehow make him come back, I think that would be great, so then we could potentially see him as a Season 9 or, end of series main villain. Now, we do know that even though this season finale is going to feel more like a series finale, we're still going to be getting a cliffhanger. So, could that cliffhanger be related to OG Thawne? Could it be related to the potential Killer Frost stuff that we've been seeing lately? Could it be related to, I don't know what else it could be related to. Comment what you guys think could be happening down below. And apparently next episode, we're supposed to get some mystery character that's going to be appearing that, we would not expect, we would not see coming. So it's going to be really interesting to see exactly who that's going to be as well. I want to go back to that scene where Wells Thawne took over the body of OG Thawne. What if, so basically right before Wells Thawne took over his body, we see OG Thawne here with some negative tachyon, negative speed force particles coming off of him. So maybe if they actually do end up bringing back OG Thawne, maybe we could look back at this scene and basically theorize that it's confirmed that he has his memories back just because of that stimulation from the negative speed force. I think that would definitely make sense. But anyways, I'd say that's about it, guys. Thanks for watching. Make sure to comment your thoughts on this video down below, as well as your thoughts on the episode. What did you guys think of it? What do you guys think is going to happen in the season finale? Yeah, just comment all that down below, and I'll see you guys in the next video.